All right, let's get right into it. When the stock market crashes, what's the gut reaction? It's panic. You see your life savings just nosedive. You get terrified and you sell everything to stop the bleeding. But I'm telling you, that is literally the single biggest financial mistake you can make. Period. So yeah, while most people see a crash as a total disaster, the wealthiest investors, they see something totally different. They see a fire sale. This isn't about ignoring the risk. It's about having a playbook. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to walk through that exact playbook, step by step, to show you how to not just survive a downturn, but actually use it to build serious wealth. All right, here's the game plan. First up, we're going to talk about why these crashes are totally normal. Then, how to build your own financial fortress. After that, we'll get into the magic math of an automatic wealth engine. And then, steal the billionaire's mindset. And finally, we'll wrap it all up in your complete playbook. Okay, so first things first, we have to completely reframe how you think about a market crash. I know, it feels like the world is ending when you see all that red in your portfolio, right? But history tells a very different story. Believe it or not, these super scary events, they're a totally normal, even predictable part of the whole economic cycle. Just take a look at the pattern here. You've got the dot-com bust back in 2000, the Great Recession in '08, and that crazy fast COVID crash in 2020. Every single one of those felt like the end of the world, and yet every single one was followed by a massive recovery. The data doesn't lie. So how often should we really expect this? Well, check this out. According to data from Acorns, a bear market, and that's just a fancy term for a drop of 20% or more, happens on average every 3.5 years. Let that sink in for a second. You should actually expect a big dip every few years. It's not a bug in the system, it's a feature. And we can get even more specific than that. On average, a bear market lasts about 9, maybe 10 months, and the market drops around 35%. See, when you know the numbers, it stops being about fear and starts being about preparation. The people who lose their shirts, they're the ones who are surprised. The people who make a fortune, they're the ones who are waiting for it. All right, so before we even think about going on offense and scooping up all those cheap assets, we have to, and I mean have to, build a rock-solid financial defense. This part is totally non-negotiable, because let's be real, you can't seize an opportunity if you're up at night worried about paying your rent. And that defense has a name, your emergency fund. We're talking 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses, and it's got to be in cash, somewhere you can get to it immediately. Why is this so important? Well, during a recession, people lose their jobs. It happens. And if your income suddenly vanishes, this fund is the only thing that stops you from being forced to sell your investments at the absolute worst possible time. I mean, look at the difference here. It's night and day. Without that cash fortress, you have no choice. You're forced to sell your stocks just to pay the bills, which means you lock in those massive losses. But with it, man, you can just ignore all the panic. You can keep your investments right where they are, and you get to operate from a place of peace of mind and, honestly, confidence. Okay, defense is solid. Now let's talk offense. This is a super simple, totally automatic strategy that actually uses market chaos to build wealth. It's called dollar cost averaging, or DCA for short. The beauty of it is that it takes all the emotion and all the guesswork out of the equation. And that's huge, because our brains are basically hardwired to make terrible, fear-based decisions when things get crazy. So how does it work? It's literally 3 simple steps. Step 1, you pick a fixed amount of money to invest. Step 2, you do it on a regular schedule, like clockwork, say the first of every single month. And step 3, and this is the magic key, you keep doing it no matter what the market is doing. Up, down, sideways, it doesn't matter. Let's make this real with some simple math. All right, let's say you're investing $1,000 a month. In January, the market's flying high. That $1,000 gets you 50 shares at $20 a pop. But then, a crash hits. Now it's March. That same $1,000, with the price now down to just $12, gets you over 83 shares. You see what's happening here, right? It's so powerful. When the prices go down, your fixed investment automatically buys you more stuff. You are literally acquiring more assets for the exact same amount of money. This crushes your average cost per share, and it basically supercharges your portfolio for when that recovery inevitably comes. Okay, let me ask you something. If your favorite store put everything on sale for 35% off, would you panic and run away screaming? No way. You'd be grabbing your wallet, right? You'd probably buy 2. For some reason, stocks are the only thing in the entire world that people run away from when they go on sale. It's time to change that mindset. Period. And that perfectly leads us to the mindset. Look, having the strategy is one thing, but having the guts to actually do it when everything looks terrifying, that's what separates the amateurs from the pros. So let's take a page from the playbook of the most successful investors on the planet. And you can't talk about this without mentioning the master, Warren Buffett. This quote is basically the guiding principle. What he's saying is at the exact moment of maximum pessimism, when everyone else is freaking out, selling everything, and the news is screaming disaster, that is your moment of maximum financial opportunity. And listen, this isn't just some catchy phrase for him. This is exactly what he did. Back in the 2008 financial crisis, when the entire world was absolutely paralyzed with fear, Buffett went on a shopping spree. He deployed billions, with a B, of dollars. He bought incredible, high-quality companies at a huge discount and, no surprise, made an absolute fortune during the recovery. The man practices what he preaches. All right, let's bring this all home. We've covered the mindset, the defense, the offense, the whole shebang. Now, let's put it all together into one simple, actionable playbook that you can use for the very next downturn. Okay, here it is, your playbook. Number 1, you've got to accept that crashes are a normal part of the cycle. Number 2, build that 3 to 6 month cash fortress. Super important. 3, put your investing on autopilot with dollar cost averaging. 4, get ready to be greedy when everyone else is fearful. And number 5, a big one, diversify your income streams so you're never dependent on just one paycheck. You know, when you boil it all down, the big takeaway is really simple. Yes, recessions are scary, but what they really are is a massive wealth transfer mechanism. See, money doesn't just vanish into thin air. It moves. It moves from the accounts of the impatient and unprepared straight into the accounts of the patient and the prepared. And so that leaves us with just one last critical question. We know for a fact that the next crash isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So the only real question left is this: when it gets here, will you be ready?